What's going on? It's your girl Amelia X Rated, and we are here for the sixth installment of the podcast Nama Fuck You. Today, like I do every other day that I have an episode going down, I have a new guest. This is a guest that I don't know too much about, but I do know that this young lady does not necessarily use obscenities. So we're going to definitely try and see if we can get something out of her, especially seeing that the podcast is called Nama Fuck You. But that's neither here nor there. I'm going to allow my guest to introduce herself real quick, and then we'll hop into the conversation.
Okay, hi guys. My name is Kahara Campbell. I'm an international student from Jamaica. I'm currently studying a BS in law at Suffolk University.
Whoop, whoop.
Yep. So I'm just here for you guys to get to know me and, have a little girl chat. So let's get into it.
Right. Little girl chat. Girl. We're doing grown woman stuff over here. No, sir. No, sir.
Yeah.
But no, that's dope. International. I mean, when you hear someone's accent, you don't necessarily go, oh, where you from? I would hate to hear that every single time I open my mouth. So that's why I didn't really get into that. But that's dope. Jamaica. Ugh. I bet you would love to be there, seeing that you're in Boston and it is cold.
It is cold. But the last time I went home, around 2019, it was mad hot. I was like, I appreciate Boston right now.
What?
It was a lucky thing where I was staying had air condition because I could not I missed
deal with the
Uber.
heat.
I missed Uber. I hate having to call a charter taxi and they'll be like, oh, we're not coming that side right now. What the hell?
So you got used to the American lifestyle.
In a sense, especially when it came on to wanting to order food and it just come to you. But yeah.
No, see, with me, when I travel, I don't want any of any luxury that I have when I'm back home. I want to go out to the market. I want to fish. I want, do crazy stuff. But I don't know. That's just me.
Yeah, well, of course I enjoyed it. I went to the river, I went to the beach. It was nice. And normally back home we can drink and eat on the beach. So it's a chill thing. So.
And you end up staying there all day long.
Yeah, I was there for a couple months. Well, so it was nice. I ended up putting on more weight back home than when I was here, actually, because all I did was eat, sleep, chill, go see my friends, have pool top parties and stuff, and yeah, so it was great.
Well, the next time you go back home, please just put me inside of your luggage, because I definitely need some heat, some beach, and some nice drinks right on the beach. Yeah. But thank you for being here with me on Nama Fuck You. Nama Fuck You is actually what we use on social media platforms because I don't want to scare anybody away. There are some individuals who get a little bit leery when they see some cuss words on the internet. So I don't want to scare anybody away. But to give you a quick rundown on what Nama Fuck You is, and this is mainly from how my past guests have defined Nama Fuck You. So Nama Fuck You is a derivative of Namaste. I don't know if you're familiar with Namaste. It's almost like I see the peace in you, the light, the love. I receive it and I send it right back to you. Now when Nama Fuck You, I see the toxicity, I see the hate, I see the negative, I see all that I don't want within me. So I'm just gonna love you from a distance. So Nama is the peace, and Fuck You is, exactly what it means. There's no extra to it. And basically each episode is just diving into someone's life, just a little bit, enough that you give me or give our listeners a peek into, and how you apply Nama Fuck You to, either a situation or just to the way that you think, the way that you act, how you go about your day. And we'll try to make this a nice hour-long healing journey where, you have a situation where things didn't go quite how you wanted it to go, and you learn from that, because everything that we go through is a learning moment. It should be, at least. And if you find that you haven't really learned something, I'm here to play devil's advocate and try to get something out of it so that we can leave this conversation stronger, wiser, and a better person.
Okay.
Sound good?
Sounds good.
All right. So what do you have to, what could we dive into?
Well, growing up, I think I was surrounded with a lot of drama because I went to an all-girls school for high school.
Oh Lord.
Oh, yes. So that was like, it was a lot because I don't have any sisters. I only have like brothers. I
Mm-hmm.
have an older brother that I grew up with. So I'm mostly like around his male friends. So going to an all girls school was like a real adjustment for me, to be honest with you.
Mm-hmm.
And I had that one, I wouldn't even say frenemy. We started off as friends, but it's ended up that even like going to uni, well, we call it uni or university back home,
Mm-hmm.
she still had my name in her mouth. Yeah. And I'm like, I just, I don't know. I just didn't like really pay her any mind. But
Mm-hmm.
it got frustrating in high school because I was kind of grown differently from the girls at school. So when they would curse and be vulgar and loud, I wasn't like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I wouldn't say I got teased a lot, but I was seen as like a goody two shoes. So people try and push my buttons. So my first year of high school, I got into a fight. Yes. So my brother knew girls from the high school because he dated a lot of girls from the all girls school.
Mm-hmm.
So even before I got home, he knew about the fight already. He was like, "Did you win the fight?" I was like, "That's what they're saying." He was like, "Oh, because you would have to sleep outside tonight if you lost."
Why are
And
brothers like that?
then he gave me like a popsicle and be like, "Good job." Yeah. So after that, like girls tried testing me, like trying to get me to fight afterwards, and I'm like, nah, I don't want that like on my permanent record. I got off the first time because they said it was self-defense,
Mm-hmm.
but I can't be like fighting at school, you know.
Right. Right.
But me and that girl, I think her mom was in denial about her promiscuity. So anytime she would like get in trouble for stuff that she did, she would automatically call my name and said I was there when I have no clue what's going on. So her mom would call my mom trying to get me into problems, and my mom caught her in the lie once because I was home when everything took place.
Mm-hmm.
And my mom is like, but she's been home all day, so I don't know what you're talking about. Stop calling my phone about my daughter. That kind of thing. So it escalated to the point where the year we were supposed to graduate, I don't know, I was minding my own business, and some girls say, "Hey, this girl is like really upset with you. She wants to fight you." I got like so mad. I went to her. I'm like, "Yo, this has been going on for years. Let's just settle this right now. You
Mm-hmm.
want to fight? Let's fight. I don't even care if I graduate at this point." She was like to her friends, "Hold me back. I don't want to beat up this girl." I just started laughing. I'm like, "Yo, I give you the opportunity to swing on me and you're like stepping back. Please." So I just walk away after that, and I didn't like deal with her, have nothing to do with her after that because it was just like a waste of time. She was doing it all for the attention.
I feel like that's like a all girls school type of like not a stigma, but so for me, when I was applying for high schools, there's a all girls. Well, there was an all girls school here that a lot of girls were applying to, and
Mm-hmm.
I went there, and I'm just like, they allow you to shadow. So you get to shadow for a couple of hours a day to see if that's the type of environment that you want, to move forward into.
Mm-hmm.
Well, when I got there, I did not want to be in that environment anymore because I literally was in a math class and the girl that was sitting behind me kept tapping me on my back and she's like, hey, hey, hey. She's distracted. I'm not about to be distracted too. Like I don't go here. One, if I do plan on coming here, I don't want, the teacher to remember me as the person who wasn't paying any attention, causing trouble in the back of the class. Comes to find out, the girl behind me was sending me a note talking about, oh, I think you're cute. Here's my phone number. Call me later.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
At,
that takes place a lot in the all girls school. Like I saw it.
and
I had friends involved in it.
at that time in my life, I could not see myself with a woman. I didn't know exactly what a lesbian lifestyle entailed. I knew girls like girls, guys like guys, but it wasn't something that I really knew much about except for what I saw on TV. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I didn't necessarily want to get myself quote unquote wrapped up inside of that, especially at an age where I really didn't even know myself either. So an all girls school was not for me at that time. Not only for that reason, but for many other reasons. Like just for like you, I came from a co-ed school, so moving into an all girls was gonna be a huge adjustment for me because no more boys. Like I really wasn't paying much attention to them, but just to know that they would no longer be there would be like, like, you mean to tell me I gotta focus the whole time?
Yeah, because we have a lot of like all boys schools and all girls schools back home that you go to, but we have like activities like we would have like barbecues or little party stuff that we merge the schools or certain clubs where boys can come over and that kind of thing. And then after school, like when you go to we have this thing called the bus park where people go to like go home. You have all the other schools, co-ed, all girls, all boys schools there. So you're not really like missing out. It's just that you're a little bit more focused during the day.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
regardless, like those who aren't lesbian or bisexual still gets like wrapped up into the whole like fooling around with a girl thing or having like gay tendencies or whatever, but it's like all for the fun of it because there are no boys there, so I would see it wasn't really my thing per se. I feel like I didn't really explore that avenue until like college
Right.
when yeah, so
I feel like, 'cause, when you're younger, there's some people who already know who they are. But then there's also the others who are still not necessarily exploring to the full capacity, but they're getting their feet wet a little bit. And high school is definitely a time where a lot of things come up. Sexuality is a huge thing. Identity, sexual identity, how you see yourself when you look in the mirror, like, the insecurities or the overconfidence. And then it doesn't help that you have to add in the academia aspect of it, where like, where do you want to go next? Like, what do you want to be when you get older? Like, where do you want to major in when you get into college? Like, there's so much weight that you put on a high school kid. And in one sense, I feel like all girls school, all boys schools are very essential for the rearing up of kids.
it's very competitive, to be
That
honest.
too. So touch upon that. Like how in what sense is it competitive?
um So back home we do this thing. Most Caribbean schools do it. This thing called CSEC or CXC exams. So in grade 6, you would take a test to determine which high school you're placed at. So you would put a list of like the top schools, and based on your grades and like the location in which you live, you'll pass to a specific school. Now, when you go to that school between 7th and 9th grade, you get a wide variety of courses that you do. So you're doing like up to like 13 subjects up to 9th grade, right? And then in 9th grade, your final exams determine the courses that you do for 10th and 11th grade for CSEC exams. So CSEC exams, normally most people do the average of 7 to 8 courses. I did 9. Um, and those grades help to determine if you get into university. So the pass mark is 3, but like ones and twos is like the way to go.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're not ready for university, you have this thing called upper and lower six or sixth form, where you're higher than a high school student. You take advanced courses,
Mm-hmm.
but it's like after those 2 years, it's like you've done like pre-university courses. So by the time you go to university, you don't have to take certain courses anymore.
Oh, so those are like your not what do you call those?
Like 12th and 13th grade.
Yeah, those are your prereqs. How we call
So
it
it
here,
would be,
prereqs.
yeah, but it would be like a junior college or like a community college
Mm-hmm.
back
Mm-hmm.
here. But we would still like go to that specific high school, wear uniform, everything, than being outside of clothes. Then you still have to like abide by those specific rules. You
Mm-hmm.
get like, that's where they determine like a head boy or a head girl. It's very British. So yeah, it's very British. We have like prefects, so it's like you're placing responsibility on the student body to oversee other students and like report to the teachers, and so it gives you like a sense of responsibility, but
Yeah.
it looks nice on your resume for when you're applying to university for certain courses, like for example law or medicine or whatever else. So yeah.
See, when I hear not like when I hear stories of students who grew up in the Caribbean and like compare it to either my experience or anybody who's grown up in the States, I feel in my head, okay, in my head, this is my opinion. I would have probably rather like went to school in the Caribbean than I would have here, because depending on the school that you attend in the States will determine your future. Like if you go to a school that doesn't have many accelerated classes, AP classes, sports,
Mm-hmm.
opportunities, like you can go outside of the school and learn at like a community college or a junior college. If you don't have all of those opportunities, you're being set up for not necessarily failure, but you don't get that leg up that you would if you had those, opportunities.
Well, for kids who, for example, didn't like get good grades in like the GSAT to go on to like a good high school,
Hmm.
you have technical high schools. So they concentrate mostly on like vocational
Yeah.
stuff, like hands-on things and whatever. Because not everyone is book smart, so
Hmm.
they try and they have schools that target like vocational things, and that's where they will gear their subjects towards for the CSEC exams as well. So even in order to like go to sixth form, you still have to get good grades in your CSEC exam in order to go to sixth form.
Right.
That's just how it is. So back home, it's like all about like getting the good grades, passing with like a certain amount of subjects, that kind of thing. So it's very competitive, especially like with the all girls school. And then we have this thing called champs, where we're very into sports as well. So with the boys school, it's always like a competition between the all boys school like Calabar, KC, JC. And back in the day, there would be like a lot of fights coming up to champs time. Like people have them T square fighting in the bus park, people getting arrested, all kind of stuff because of the school that you might follow. So you don't wear certain colors. And if like you're carrying a specific girls' school and you rep a certain boys' school, they have to watch you back. I never had to watch my back. Like I knew everybody from every school. So I never carried a boys' school per se because I had friends from all of the main guy schools.
Hmm.
So I'm like, Okay, because I had friends on the track team and stuff like that, but I've never been to champs ever. I've never been, and my friends are like, "How have you never been to champs? Like half your life gone." I'm like, "No, but the crowds and the fights that I hear that happen, it's not my thing. I'll watch it on
Right.
TV in the comfort of my home, where food is free, and and I know that I'm safe. Like,
You don't have to go through
yeah.
the trouble of dodging fists and
Yeah, and you have to pay an arm and a leg for a ticket, and then you have the bleachers, and then you have like stands. The bleachers is where the sun is like
yeah.
pelting down on you all day, and then the stands. I'm not doing all of that. No, sorry. I have a fan at home. I'll sit down and eat my food and watch
Oh
the
my
games.
goodness. But go back. Okay, I'm really interested in this. Like all girls. Like, how do you feel? Not even how do you feel? Do you think that you've like it reared you to be the person that you are today? And if so, or if not, what values have you acquired since attending an all girls school
Okay,
or
well,
lack thereof?
so first of all, I hated the 5 years of high school.
Nama,
I
fuck those 5 years. Go ahead.
Yeah, hated it. But I always remembered a specific principle was like Merle Grove sisters speaking whispers, screams and shouts don't come from our mouths. That
Okay.
saying.
Repeat that again.
Merle Grove sisters, because the school that I went to was Merle Grove High School.
Okay.
So Merle Grove sisters speak in whispers, screams and shouts don't come from our mouths. So when our class is disruptive, our teacher would pass and say that saying and be like, "Girls, be quiet. Remember, Merle Grove sisters speak in whispers, screams and shouts don't come from our mouths." And then like there was a specific way that you had to sit during assembly where you cross your feet at the ankle, like no one is supposed to be seen in between your legs. And
Wait,
then
hold on.
the
Let me adjust my my seat right quick. So I just felt like my legs was wide open. I felt a draft, but I ignored it till you said something. Thank
yeah.
you. Go ahead.
Yeah, so even like by the time like ninth or 10th grade would have like these ec- ecitech things like, oh, such a tongue twister, but stuff to
Oh,
like
etiquette, etiquette.
etiquette. Yes, thank you. um Stuff to like teach us like the knife and forks and spoons
Oh
and all
yes,
that kind of
utensil
stuff.
placements.
Yes, so we would
Mm-hmm.
have to do that, but we would also have like professional day where you dress up professional and come, and we would have like guest speakers and that kind of stuff. So it's nice because then you can like interact with other girls from the grades and stuff like that, because the way it's set up, for each grade we have like 9-1 or 10-1 to like 10-11,
Mm-hmm.
but they do it based on your grades too, so they rank you based on your grades. So if you're like in 10-1, 10-6, 10-7, you're getting good grades. Anything in between, you're either average or not performing.
That's messed up.
Yeah, so I think in my year group they had stopped doing that
Mm-hmm.
and placed you. So after I think eighth or ninth grade, they started placing you with people that you were already comfortable with,
Mm-hmm.
and they didn't use that scaling anymore. But they had moved me out in ninth grade to another grade because they were saying that I wasn't being challenged in the class that I was at. So they moved me into a class that had more girls to challenge me and stuff like that, because I was topping my classes and stuff. And they're like, "Oh, you need a little bit more motivation." Yeah.
Oh, because you were just easing by. There wasn't enough.
Yeah, because I was topping my classes and stuff. So they wanted to give me more of a challenge.
So tell me
So
something. Do you feel like you was top of your class because that's just the person that you were born to be,
yeah,
and it
yeah.
had nothing to do with the school environment?
It had nothing to do with the school environment because the prep school that I went to was very competitive as well. It was
Oh
like a
my
private
gosh.
school. Yeah, and so even here, I was so offended when they said this. Like, I got a B on one of my thing, right?
Mm.
They're like, "Oh, that's so good, that B," and I'm like, "A B? No, it isn't. Like, that's average." But it's like they're saying a B is good for a black girl. That's basically what they were saying.
That too. That, and this is here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that could be one. And also, like the grading scale here in America is it's stupid. Okay, it's very dumb. I'm gonna say Nama fuck you to the grading scale because like back okay, a long time ago, of course there was A, B, and C, D, and F. There's no E. I don't know what E means. Moving further along, when like America is huge with developmental like illnesses and setbacks, like they like to do ADHD, ADD, like they like
We
to
don't have
coin
that back home.
exactly. Now this is I'm gonna get to the point real quick, right? So we have a lot of that. So
Hmm.
because of that, because yeah, there's no longer A B C D, no E F, okay? There's more like satisfactory, unsatisfactory. You have some of that.
Hmm.
Some schools don't have that because that's kind of like you're hurting somebody's feelings by telling them that they're unsatisfactory. I mean, there's some people who are really like they do take it on. And then going back to the A, B, C, D, F. Within those constraints of A and B, right? There's a
Hmm.
number. I believe B starts at a high 79 and goes.
Not anymore, my dear.
They had to pull that away too because a person who gets a 79, okay, and the teacher, because there's some really hard ass teachers or professors rather and teachers who will say a 79 is a C plus.
Hmm.
That is a C
Definitely.
plus. That is a hard C plus. But then you have these students who are assholes, and they go, but if you consider this, that, in the fourth, my 79 is a hard B minus. So you can fight for your B and not even deserve a B. Then there are some institutions that don't even have letters. Okay? They don't have letters. You can, they say, all right, write this 25-page paper. You have to have 17 sources, a cover page, whatever. Okay? They're not really grading. They're grading you, but they're not really grading you. Like, I just feel like schools like that are fairy tales. Like, you got by because that teacher likes you or that professor likes you. The grading system here, it sucks. It's awful, especially when it comes to like exam schools, exams period. There's some exam schools where you have to make a certain letter. A student will make the letter and still not get into the exam school because
Wow.
it goes into like politics. Who do you know? Who does your mama know? Who does your daddy know? So I will say Nama fuck you to that too because it puts people at a disadvantage. Yes, America teaches you that you can get by who you know. Okay, networking. Let me tell you, you can come
I
to this
think that's
country.
everywhere though.
Heck, yeah, it is everywhere. But here, I think it's pushed more. Like, you don't have to have a high school diploma. You don't have to have a college degree. But if you can talk, if you can meet people, if you can network, you can go very, very far. I guarantee you, if you Google, not even Google, because it's not like public information sometimes, but there are CEOs who only have like a GED, or even merely like they got by in high school with a high school diploma. They're not, because like our parents throw on to us like, oh, you have to go to college, you have to like major in this, that, this, and the fourth. But there's individuals out here making more money than me and have more degree. They have no degree at all, and I'm sitting here struggling, busting my ass, flipping cheeseburgers with a master's degree for what? So you have, like, on the flip side, there's a lot of discouragement because it's a dog eat dog world out here. I really really appreciate the process of education, especially in other countries, like how hard, like the education system pushes each student to be the best that they can be. Yes, America has it too, but I feel like it's more.
But it makes you more hard on yourself though, because that's what I find with myself. Like if I don't get the grade that I want,
Yeah,
or I know that I deserve, I'm like harder on myself. And like I would have friends here that be like, Kahara, but you're so smart, like get over it. It's just but I'm like, if I settle for that, I'll continue to settle for that. That's how my level of
that's not
thinking
a
has.
bad thing though.
And that's why I get annoyed, like especially with the sports things out here with little kids. Everybody gets a trophy.
Yeah.
No,
Oh, there you
somebody
go.
have to win. I don't like it. Like if I come first, I don't want him to get a trophy for not reaching anywhere. Give him a little medal or a ribbon. Like why everyone has to get a trophy?
No, that's how it is, because you have to appease everybody. Everyone has to walk away happy.
No, but that's you're teaching children. No, not you're not teaching them how to lose and get back up. You're teaching them that, oh, you're supposed no. How are they supposed to learn hard lessons in life if they don't feel the hurt of losing and feel the real genuine celebration of a win?
Because then you're going to have another developmental issue that you have to combat with medication and therapy.
Or them just plain rude.
That's another issue that pops up a lot in this culture, is coddling. Like they call it coddling. Oh, it's okay, Timmy. You didn't win this time, but you'll win next time and you'll get the same trophy. Like, no. It's and we're spoiled over here. We're spoiled rotten. We're spoiled bad. Like, for every little bad thing we get awarded. Every little bad thing we do, we get awarded. And every good thing we do, we get awarded. There's never.
And that's where the entitlement comes in.
Exactly. Entitlement, and then if you look at our history, privilege. Privilege that comes about with depending on the color of your skin, unfortunately. And it goes back to that B for a black girl. Like, in this country, you're not supposed to know anything at all. So you're supposed to be happy with that B. So I just ask that you strive for higher than a B every single time, and you take that A plus, that 100%, that 97, 98, whatever they grade it as, and you fling it all in everybody else's face.
And trust me, I did that when I graduated from Quincy.
You went to Quincy College?
Yes.
That's another interesting institution.
Oh my God, I went through so much there, but let's not get into that. Jesus.
No, that you don't even have to, and I'm sure anybody that's going to listen to this episode will be like, "Ooh, and you survived." I think it's important to, like, wherever you go in life, no matter whatever institution that you enter into, make the best out of it. Like, that's why I asked you, like, you're just an incredible student academically because of the person that you are and not the environment that you're in. Like, you can soar no matter where you're placed, and that's something that you really should hone in on at all times, because there are not many individuals who can, be successful no matter where they are. Like, you left home, you're not in Jamaica. You're in the United States of America. People like risk their lives to come here, then realize that this place is a shit show. But you're doing the damn thing. Like you're doing better than you can. You're exceeding your own expectations because of the person that you are. And like I feel like that's a testament. Like now I'ma fuck you to anybody who thought that you would come here and fail. Not saying that that's, was probably what they would have said, but I'm sure there are people who look at you even in your own school like, who's this international girl? Who does she think she is coming over here to my territory? And trying to be all that she can be in her glory. That's why she's ugly anyway. Like that's what people it's stupid.
I'll be like, thank you.
As you should though. You know what I'm saying? Like I hate it here sometimes because of the way that, people think. It's
Yeah.
trash.
Like when I even came here and like the whole thing with body imaging and like
Mhm.
I'm like, you're not fat though. But then they want to be like, oh, I need to go on a diet. I'm like, go on a diet for what? Like, I don't get it. Like, you're nice and thick, or you're nice and you're slim thick, or
Mhm.
whatever else. Like, there's nothing wrong with you. But it's just the culture here where everyone has to be like stick thin. I don't get it. Like,
Mhm.
it's annoying. Like, I love food. There's
Mhm.
nothing wrong with that.
Yep. It's what social media portrays. Like you see all these stars having these amazing plastic surgery built bodies.
Yeah.
And then they have the nerve to sell you waist trainers and
Mm-hmm.
workout gear that they don't need per se, but because they're so rich and famous and popular, they're like selling it to people like who are really insecure and, oh, you're my favorite star, so because you wear it, I'm gonna buy it. You don't need it. You know what I'm saying? You don't
I've
need it.
never been starstruck.
That's something I have never been either. That's not on my list of things to do on a daily basis because, like, stars are human. They just have, they just were afforded different opportunities than. Matter of fact, no, I'm not gonna say that because we all grew up the same way. It's just the paths that we chose. Um, and I definitely am a fan of food myself. And I always tell people I have fat to maintain. I don't have time to be thinking about, oh, I'm chunky, I'm this. Like I say that because of like the things that I go through, like medication wise, will have me blow up or
Mm-hmm.
go completely down. But that's just me. But other than that,
Mm-hmm.
no. If I'm hungry, I'm gonna eat. You see me sitting here eating gummy bears, like it's
When I'm bored, I eat.
and yeah, that's I eat all the time. Like I literally will have snacks on my bed. This is so bad. And wake up in the middle of the night and like I could hear my hand ruffling through a bag of chips or something like, and then I'll wake up the next morning like, Amelia, did you really eat? And yeah, so
Well, I'm not really a snacker. I'm
oh,
more like, I just love a good place of food. That's me. Like, I don't know. I just love eating like just a lot of food all at once.
mm-hmm. Can you have an
And
appetite?
everyone is like, where does the food go? And I'm like, that's why I'm so smart.
You got the food dispersion formula down packed. You gotta share it with somebody. Definitely gotta share it with somebody. Um, Tell me, okay, how long have you been in the States?
I would say around 3 years. I
So,
came like May of 2017.
May 2017. All right. What were your thoughts upon getting off the plane? So it was May, so it was cool outside. It wasn't even hot and it wasn't cold.
It was cold to me at the time. So everyone was laughing at me, saying, Kahara, this is lovely weather. No, I'm freezing. What is this? I'm wearing big coats going to school, nose running because I'm cold, everything.
Oh, what?
You see, by the time the next winter came around, I'll be like, yes, this is nice weather.
So you
I'm
came here,
saying
it
the
was
same.
cold, and then you witnessed the winter of that same year, and I bet you was cussing.
I remember one night I had a late class and I came off the train, was waiting on the bus to head home.
Hmm.
Well, the house is still like walking distance from the train station in a sense, but I'd rather take the bus home because it was warm on the bus. Bus took forever to come. I had to take my time and trot it home. My toes were frozen.
Frozen.
I had to sit down for like a good 5 to 10 minutes and defrost.
I
Yep.
wish people could see your face because it's hilarious. I'm accustomed to this cold weather and the defrosting coming in from the outside, but just to see like the look on your face, like you would not believe I had icicles for toes. Like, yes, this is Boston. This is what happened. This is that
Yeah.
northeast weather. Yeah, we'll say nama f you to the weather too because it's
It was
ghetto
a
out
big
here.
culture shock for me. It took me a while to adjust. I didn't really know anyone. I was like very homesick the first couple years.
Hmm.
So um yeah, it was a task because I'm not very sociable in a sense. I tend to keep to myself.
Hmm.
So it was hard at first. Once I came here, yeah.
What made you, not made you, but what was the moment like where the adjustment, where you settled in a little bit and the
I
adjustment
don't think
happened?
I don't think I ever really like settled it. Like I've always been homesick,
Hmm.
but I just have like that focus where you came here to do something. You just need
Hmm.
to get it done and you'll be okay kind of thing. Like because I have so much going on, it kind of like distracts me from all that. Like I don't have time to be pouting or sad about it. You just need to do what you need to get done.
Right, 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 right.
Yeah.
That's dope because I'm just building off of the fact that you're able to like grow no matter what your environment, what the base of your pot is, for lack of better words, like a flower. You know what I'm saying? Like what
Yeah.
soil? You know what I'm saying? Like you're growing regardless of it. Like somebody could not water you for weeks, and you're still gonna find a way to outshine the next pot that's next to you.
Yeah, because it hasn't been easy at all being here. Whether emotionally, financially, mentally,
Hmm.
it physical, it has not been easy, but I mean, I came here to do something. Like a lot of money has been put into school. Like I can't waste. Like I don't understand. Like I've seen kids come in to school and they'll be like, "Oh, if I get this certain grade and just pass and go through, I'll be fine." I can't think like that. I'm
Hmm.
like, I'm spending a ton of money just to be here. So if I get anything less than what I want, no, it's not gonna work that way. But I guess the way of thinking here is a bit different from the way I was raised and stuff.
Hmm.
So, but I have to kind of just keep all that was instilled in me and just continue to push through. I tend to internalize anyways, so if I'm going through stuff, people aren't gonna see me sweat.
Right.
I would just kind of like deal with it on my own time until like I feel like stuff have subsided. Like I prefer to hear other people's problems and counsel them than deal with my own problems at the moment.
Same here. Same
It's
here.
like a good distraction for me anyways. And it kind of distracts me from my own thing, like what's going on. Like I don't mind being the soundboy to someone else. But when I'm on my own and you overthink and you do all that kind of stuff, school and stuff is like a great distraction for all that. So
Hmm. Listening to other people's stories and being an aid to others is a coping mechanism for me. Like it's a
yeah,
great distraction, but it's also a way for me to like um really take into account, like, okay, other people are going through stuff like Amelia. Relax. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, that's another reason. It's a reason why, like, if you're upset about something, or you got a lot going on in your life, watch like a drama, like a show, or a movie that has a lot of stuff going on. It'll kind of
Mm-hmm.
make you feel better to know that you know somebody else's experience. Like I forgot what the term is.
Misery loves company, though.
Yeah, that and yeah.
So for me, it's like I try and be like positive about it. So I'm like, stuff is happening this way for you to be a testimony to someone
Mhm.
else or for you to help someone else in the near future. So you just have to go through it and be like a trooper.
Mhm.
That's how I think about it. And like sometimes you think that you should be further with like your journey. And my mom always tells me like, stop watching other people's journey. Journey is your own. You
Mhm.
know, it's not how you start, it's how you finish.
Finish. That's right.
So just continue, just focus on where you need to end up. Don't it doesn't matter how long it takes as long as you get there. So
Life is not a marathon.
yeah. It's not a sprint,
It's
it's
not
a
a sprint. It's a
marathon.
marathon. There you go. There you go. See, thank you. Thank you for
Yeah.
the correction. Um, come over here thinking of something, and then you know you think of something, you say something, and you're thinking it, and you end up saying what you're thinking, as opposed to just see.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
get you.
it's too much going on. Too much going on. Um, now if you could give a message to somebody who is going to make the trek, make the journey, put all their eggs in one basket, and say, "Hey, I want to further my education in the States." What advice would you give to them?
Try Canada.
Say it again.
Try Canada.
So don't even stop in the United States. Just go straight to Canada.
I think you should apply everywhere. Like, don't limit. I don't believe in putting all your eggs in one basket. I did that, and look, look where I am. Learn from my lessons. Like, try because at least, like, from what some of my friends who goes to school in Canada, what they told me, they're able to work and go to school, and
Mhm.
you get a lot more help. Like after working for a couple of years, they're able to stay there. You know what I mean? You're
Mhm.
able to get your stay and like build your life there and whatever. With the US it's not so easy. Stuff
No.
are a lot harder. It's a lot more expensive. But I mean, I feel like if you do it the right way you'll be fine. And it's not for the faint of heart, that's for sure. So if you want to come to school here, you have to have thick skin. You have to be strong mentally and emotionally because it will break you down. I've heard a lot of stories of a lot of international students not being able to manage and end up going back home. Going home is not an option for me. I have to finish this and I
Mhm.
will finish this. That's just how I am. Like, I'm a fighter. I don't like give up so easily. It might look like I'm giving up right now or there's like loss in hope, but I mean, you know, when they say that man plans and God laughs,
Mhm.
yeah. So I'll just like leave it up to him. Everything happens for a reason. Sometimes he's like saving us from ourselves when we make certain decisions.
Yep.
So sometimes I just make life happen and just kind of like go with the flow with things.
I think it's a testament that you've had a plan and you're sticking to the plan. There's some people who have a plan, get discouraged, and then they quit. It's been well translated to me that you are not a quitter, and I don't ever want you to quit. And
Yeah.
it's a beautiful thing because not a lot of people can come here and actually succeed successfully.
Yeah.
Because, like I said before, the United States of America is a shit show. Okay, people think coming here the grass is going to be greener on this
Thanks a bed of
side.
roses.
Whew. Yes,
Nope.
they are roses because roses smell like shit. Okay? And they die. They die. They only last what 2-3 days, and then what do? They die. I have family members who are over in Honduras, and they're like, "Oh my God, Prima, like you, this is so beautiful. Can't wait to come over." Oh no 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 no! I'll come to you. Stay where you are, because United States of America is not a place for somebody who they're not gonna help you. You gotta help yourself. Your
Yeah.
neighbor is not gonna help you. You gotta find somebody um who has not interest, but you guys have similarities. That's who's gonna
Mm-hmm.
help you. And even sometimes then your own people won't help you. So like, you really, if you're gonna come here, like how you say, you have to have thick skin. And another thing too is, like, if you're gonna have a plan, stick to it. And don't think that you're gonna have handouts, because not even citizens of this country get handouts. And the ones who do
Yeah.
get handouts, they're like, they make you feel like crap before they even say, "Oh, here's this little bit of $85 for groceries for all 12 of your kids." Okay, $85, and be happy with what I'm giving to you too, because there's so many other people on my list that I could have given it to. Like, don't make me feel like crap for giving me money that I worked for. Like, because once you start working in this country, you start
Mm-hmm.
accumulating. Like, you're supposed to accumulate so that when you decide to retire, or some
Mm-hmm.
life event happens that you can no longer work, like, you should have money in a bank, where, not in a bank, but like, quote unquote, a bank, where they can give it to you in a certain amount of money a month. Like, this country's all messed up. I'm sorry. I prefer Canada because there's free health care. They help
Mm-hmm.
you out. Like, you
Mm-hmm.
prove to them that you're a loyal, um not yet a citizen, but you're loyal. You're there
Mm-hmm.
to do the right thing, and they help you. Like, they're not gonna have you sitting out in the corners, freezing your butt
Mm-hmm.
off, having to defrost your icicle toes in a McDonald's lobby. Like, no, they're gonna help you. It's
Yeah.
it's sad. It is super super sad. Do you have any closing remarks, my love?
Well, it was nice speaking with you.
Of
Well,
course.
I don't know, like we could go on and on, as
Hmm.
you say, but I just want to tell the listeners, like, don't give up on your dreams. And as I mentioned earlier, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. The race is not for the swift, but who can endure. And
Hmm.
as Winston Churchill said, success is not final and failure is not fatal. It's the courage to continue that counts. So have the courage to continue. And trust me, you'll reap the rewards of it, So,
Definitely, and it's all about believing in yourself too. You can't set out on a journey and not say, or at least have had the conversation with yourself, saying that you're capable, you're able, this can be done, it will be done. And power of life and death is in your tongue, so you got to manifest. If you have breath, you can manifest. So speak life
yes.
into yourself at all time. I'm like a huge advocate for affirmations. Wake up in the morning and say, I am beautiful, I am strong, I am intelligent, I am the light. Like, I say that
Even
all.
if you don't believe it in the moment, eventually your words will become action. And
Yep,
to me, like, actions speak louder than words for sure.
they
So
do.
if you're saying that you want to do something, go out and do it. Like, why put off for tomorrow what you
You
can
could
do
do
today?
today. Mm-hmm. I always say that, even though I find myself sitting there like, I'll just put it
Yeah.
on my calendar for the next day. But I mean, we have our moments. I feel like you're human. You can have your moments, but don't stick in it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
if you feeling down and depressed, give yourself, like, say to yourself, I'm gonna give you 2 hours to be down and depressed. When that 2 hours is done, you better get your behind up and say, I am the light. I am the source. I am powerful. I am beautiful. I am more than the situation that I'm in right now. I can conquer any and everything that I put forth effort. And yeah.
I've been trying to live up to my name. recently, especially with like being depressed, being here at times.
Mm-hmm.
My name means joy, joyful, and grace, right?
Mm-hmm.
So my mom said, you were always like a happy child, whatever. You need to get back to that because I never used to make things bother me as much. And I think that's why, like, in the hardest of situations, people don't see me sweat because I'm so calm. It's like after everything is like done,
Mm-hmm.
that's when I break down.
Yeah. You need the calm. That's when the calm happens. That's when you break down. And for some, from coming from me, and like I could relate to that in so many ways. Like, I go through a lot of medical setbacks. Like when I tell you a lot, when I feel like I'm making 6 steps forward, something happens and I'm taking 10 back. And it gets
Yeah.
to the point where I'm very discouraged. Like I don't want to do anything. You know what I'm saying? Because I already put programmed in my head that something bad's gonna happen anyway. So I've learned over the years to stop. Yes, I like to get discouraged, like not discouraged, to get distracted. Yes, and I do have coping mechanisms, but I allow myself to
Mm-hmm.
feel whatever is holding me down, whatever is holding me back. And if that happens to be like the emotion of hearing a diagnosis or emotion of hearing that I have to go through a certain type of a treatment, I'm going to feel it. I'm going to feel every negative emotion, every negative feeling. And I'm going to like sit with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, I feel depressed. I feel down. I feel defeated. I feel hurt. I'm feeling pain. And I'm going to sit with it. I'm going to cry. I'm going to scream. I'm going to punch a hole in the air. I'm going to do everything. But I'm doing it with myself. Okay?
Yeah.
And what I don't understand while in that moment, I'm going to ask for help. And when I say ask for help, I mean I'm going to ask somebody who better understands what is going to happen next. So in that sense, I'm going to ask a doctor, what are the side effects of this medication? Or how long do I have to do chemo treatment for? Or is my hair going to fall out? Or I'm going to I'm going to research different groups of individuals who, have experienced the same thing as me so that I stop feeling so much and I put feeling to action.
I don't allow myself to feel at times too. Like, I'm the type that would be like, I'm fine, don't worry about
Mm-hmm.
it. But then, like, if you invite me somewhere, I'll be like, nah, I don't feel like going anywhere. I
Mm-hmm.
just want to be like by myself. But I won't be crying. I won't be doing anything. I just want to be like left alone. And I know it's unhealthy. And that's something like I have to work on because I internalize, like, I don't allow
Mm-hmm.
myself to let it out.
Mm-hmm.
It's very few times like I let it out, and it will be like if I'm taking like a long shower and I break down so no one can see the tears or
Mm-hmm.
whatever. Like, I'm that type of person. Like,
Because
I'm
you're
very,
private. You're very private.
yeah.
No, I can definitely relate a lot. Like, I will be the one to take a shower and cry, or I'll cry in silence. Like, you ever try to cry quietly? It's worse than when you cry out loud. Like, it is ugly. Like, your face starts hurting and you both, like, no, it's not. I don't suggest it. But, another thing too, I write a lot. So I
Mm-hmm.
feel all of my emotions and everything into my writing. I don't really like to vent too much to people because I've had cases where it backlashed on me, like they use it against me as
Yes.
fuel.
Mm-hmm.
So in that case, I try to protect myself. So I don't really like vent. So like I would write, I sing, and I have
I
these
eat.
eats, and I have these days where I say make Amelia happy day. So I do things that make me
Mm-hmm.
happy, which include food.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it includes, going to the mall. I don't necessarily have to buy anything, but like I like to see people happy with whatever they're doing. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause that makes me happy. So do things that make you happy. So if you haven't figured out what makes you happy, so you can get back to your name and what your namesake means, then Girl, you're gonna have to give yourself an hour to sit down and figure that all out, because you know what? You deserve it. You deserve happiness. And one thing that I've been learning and trying to put into practice is that we cannot depend on another person to make us happy. We have to do it for ourselves. So if I challenge you from today forward, give yourself one day where you make you happy. You do whatever makes you happy. If that's taking a long shower and screaming and crying, by all means. If that's taking a walk downtown or doing whatever, by all means. Or making a dish that you know made you happy when you were back home. Do that. Like whatever it is, do it.
We eat lots of Jamaican food here, so that's like, I don't really eat junk food like that. Like I love food, so I'm gonna cook the food. You know? So.
But whatever it is, you find it, you do it, and you give yourself that 24 hours, the full 24 hours. Not no quick 8, 9, no. Even if you fall asleep to music or whatever, make it a full 24 hours. Sometimes I find myself doing self-care days where you do like a mask, 8 hours of sleep, you know, got your, your diffuser going on or whatever. Do it, because it's necessary. Like I said, you deserve it. You've been working real hard. It's time for us to pay off in other ways than how it's been.
Yeah.
And it doesn't cost anything to make yourself happy.
I taught myself how to, you know, comb my hair a little bit. I tried a little thing yesterday, you know.
Well, I only see the scarf, but the ends look like they're put together. So congratulations on that one. That's definitely not my area of expertise. As you can see, I rock the short haircut because me and hair don't go together.
Yeah, well, I tried the short haircut thing. I couldn't manage it. My hair was like I cried.
Oh, I'm sorry. You know, it's not for everybody. All right, it's not for everybody, but
it looks good on me. It's just that my face looks extra fat too, so I look like a boy.
Stop. People don't realize that when you cut your hair, it opens up everything. Like everything is on like Front Street, how I say. Your eyes, like my eyes pop now. If I don't get my eyebrows done, it's it's end deal. Like no, it does not look good at all. My lips got bigger, my nose got like everything is just like right there in your face. But I mean, beauty is skin deep, okay? If you can't take me how I am, then you can't have it at all. So
exactly.
Womp. Well,
the only benefit was I didn't have to like comb my hair as often.
Yeah, see, no, I wake up and go, and I don't like makeup too much, so this is perfect for me. The most you'll see me get is put on is like a little bit of mascara and I'm out. But other than that, lotion, clothes, and I'm gone. I'm glad that we're on the same page with this one. This was a fun episode for me too, because I got out of you what I didn't think I probably would have, and we dropped a little bit of gems, and that's all that matters. I didn't get the curse words, but it's okay. It's all right.
Maybe next time I'll teach you some Jamaican ones.
Oh, girl, don't worry. You don't have to. It's in my I'll give you my family history. It's there. If you spoke to my mom, you guys will go back and forth with the parts. I just, but that's neither here nor there. But thank you so much for gracing me with your presence and for sharing your little bit of a story. Not a little bit. I'm sorry, that did not come out right. Sharing your story, okay? Because there's somebody out there who definitely, even including myself, needs to be reminded that we need to make a plan, stick to the plan, and execute that plan, and to be strong about it. Strong-willed, strong determination, motivation. And it doesn't really matter where we came from. It's all about where we're going and how we're going to finish. You are amazing. I say this to everyone that comes on this platform. You are loved. You are appreciated. I see you. I hear you. I'm definitely always here as a source of whatever you need in that moment. So please do not hesitate to hit my line, how I like to say. And again, I thank you so very much. Ladies and gentlemen, that is the end of this episode. Until next time, y'all.